Welcome to the podcast that wants you to set a course for adventure, your mind on a new romance.
Yay!
#JustSaying. The Love Boat theme is awesome.
The Love Boat.
Soon we'll be making another run. That's what we're doing here. We're making another run.
The Love Boat.
That's what we're doing here. We're making another run.
As we do every week.
Thank you for joining us again. I am Tara.
And tonight, I am Jason.
I am never going to remember that.
That's why I'm going to have the bottle right here.
Oh, helping. So
I'm
Sean.
Jason.
Sean is Jason tonight.
Not Voorhees, just Jason.
Just Jason.
Because those of you that are just tuning in and didn't catch last week, Coca-Cola is doing their summer thing where they're putting your names on the bottles for you to go out and trash the bins and trash the little fridges in the supermarkets.
Yeah.
Looking for your own name. And I've decided every week I'm going to pick a different name and be that person for the night.
That seems fair.
Last week I started off with my own. Good way to start.
That seems fair.
Bada bing.
Bada bing. Okay. I am on the last days of my vacation from work.
Oh.
Boo indeed, my friend. Boo indeed, Jason. Now when I call you Jason, you're just going to be like, I'm looking at that. I don't know. So, what happened was, 3 days into my vacation, my husband and I went up to Providence, Rhode Island. So we were driving home from Providence, Rhode Island. And all of a sudden, my car decides that it doesn't want to go anymore. It is on strike. My car went on strike. In the middle of a highway. I just got on, if anybody knows the area, I just got on Route 79. I was right in front of the not exit 6, but it's like Route 6 off-ramp. And my car, I had my foot on all the way on the gas, and the car's like, yeah, no.
I want to break.
And people behind me, no, I immediately sensed that something was wrong, because I'm not moving. Not very well. Anyway, I could have got out and walked and gotten in front of the car. That's how fast I was going. Well, my check engine light's on, but it was been on. And I thought I knew what it was, and apparently...
Maybe it's a gas cap.
What is it with people that's saying that?
I don't know.
So, anyways... So, I sensed that I'm in danger, so I threw my hazards on. And people behind me were honking.
Of course they were.
And I'm like, my hazards are on, people. What more do you want?
This is 2018. No one gives a flying fuck.
No gives
They just
a
want you
flying
out of
fuck.
the way.
Amount of fucks I give.
Mm-hmm.
Boom.
As
So,
Skeletor says on a meme.
yeah. The amount of fucks I give is 0. So, I did manage to get it to the side of the road. The car did not want to go to the side of the road. I managed to force it to the side of the road.
Because no one will get out and help.
Well, yeah, nobody helped. And you know what?
Yep.
Here's the thing. I managed to get the car to the side of the road. Barely. On its last breath, I got it to the side of the road. And then it was like, puh. So, just puh. So, I stopped the car. I shut the car off. And we call AAA. We have a AAA membership. Let's use AAA. So we call AAA. The woman on the phone says,
Oh, you again.
No. That would be from Jay. The woman on the phone says, oh, we're like on a highway, like an interstate. So she's, oh, well, you're a priority call.
Nice.
So I'm going to get somebody to you right away.
Nice.
Really, really, Jason? Really? So,
Nice?
it would have been nice.
Oh.
Well, here's what happened. So we're like, okay. So we sit and we wait. And we wait. And I didn't want to turn the car on. And I didn't want to do anything. So we're sitting and it's like, oh, I don't know, 80 degrees. So we're in the heat.
Cooking.
Yes. Now, we had just gotten, anybody from the New England area would know, Dell's Frozen Lemonade. We had just gotten some Dell's Frozen Lemonade.
Lemonade.
It's a cool, refreshing drink, especially when it's frozen. It's just, if you're not from this area, it's basically a slushie. It's a slushie with flavoring.
Slush.
Yes, it's a slush with slush. So I'm drinking my Dell's, and I realize that, you know what?
What?
The more I drink of this, the more I'm going to have to pee. And I'm on the side of the road right now.
And it's too bright to go squat.
And there's no way to go. I have no way to go.
At one time, you want to see that porta potty.
I don't know that I would have used a porta potty if a porta potty was available.
If it was an emergency, you would have to.
Sure, Jason. You wacky Jason, you.
I'm gonna throw you off of this.
You are, but I'm doing my best. So finally, they call and they say, "Well, we'll have somebody there."
20 minutes.
No.
10.
It was more like a 30 to 35.
Yeah, top priority.
So we waited like over an hour.
Yeah, real priority.
So the guy shows up, right? And he's a little guy. And he's like, "What happened to your car?"
Puh.
And I said, "Well, I know, it just went puh."
With that little cloud I'll be in the back.
So I said, "Well, it just, I have my foot on the gas, it's not moving." So he's like, "Oh, okay." And he goes, "Will it drive up the ramp?" And I said, "You're welcome to try." And he looks at me and says, "Well, the faster I get it on the ramp, the faster we get out of here because, my life is in danger." And I was like...
Like yours ain't.
And I was like, "Dude, I've been sitting here for an hour.
Getting honked at.
My life was in danger." Mm-hmm. Oh, and we called the police, by the way. We called the police because we were at a very vulnerable position on the road.
And you need the lights.
And so Jay called the police, and he said,
whoop, whoop.
Well, he called the Fall River police first, because technically we were on the borderline of Fall River. And he goes, "I don't know, should we call state police? Should we call Fall River?" So we ended up calling Fall River police.
Yeah, but it sounded like state jurisdiction, but go ahead.
So, well, he asked the guy. He goes, "I don't know if this is state police or what." And he's like, "My wife and I are stuck on the side of the road. Tow truck said he's going to be here in like an hour. Can you send somebody out?" And he goes, "Yeah, no, I don't have the guys for that." And Jay's like, "But you have the guys to do speed traps?" Like, he's like, "Pull somebody off a speed trap." He's like, "We could die." And he's like, "Yeah, no." So he hung up, and he told me what had transpired, and I said, "Well, that's amusing."
So that was Fall River, right?
Yeah.
All right. People, if you're ever in Fall River and you need police help, don't call them because they don't give a shit.
They don't give a shit.
So we're going to spread the word right now. The Fall River PD sucks ass. Doesn't care to help the people that they're hired and paid to protect.
No.
So fuck them.
So, well, here's the thing. I know.
Okay.
I'm ignoring it. So, here's the thing. He hung up. He told me what happened with the conversation. And I said, "Well, you know what?" I said, "If somebody ends up hitting us, they're going to have to come out anyway." I was like, so he's saying that they don't have the people, but he's going to have the people if we get hurt.
Mm-hmm.
Or if the tow truck guy gets hurt. So the tow truck guy showed up, and then he's, talking about, the less my life is in danger, the quicker we get out of here. And I'm like, we were just stuck here for an hour. And then we explained to him that we had called the police, and they couldn't give two shits. And he's like, figures. I'm like, oh, yeah. So then he was very chatty. Very chatty. Like, and it was like from where we were to where I was having it towed was like a 49-minute ride.
No.
Yeah. Now, here's the thing. I've never been, to my knowledge, and I'm thinking, and I can't recall, I've never been in a tow truck cab, okay? So I don't know if this is all tow trucks or just this guy. The cab was very small. And I'm not saying that.
You say he was small.
He was small. He was short.
Perfect.
But I'm not saying this as like, oh, I'm chubby and the thing was small. My knees, I couldn't get, like, I was too tall. My knees were in his dash. So I had to adjust my legs. I sat, it was the driver, me, and Jay. And so I had to shift my legs this way. So my legs are going toward where the passenger would have their feet,
and
right?
putting your butt on his thigh.
I guess, essentially, although
Yeah,
it's
I'll
not
keep
like
you warm.
it's not like he would have complained about it.
Nicole, I'll keep you warm.
My husband, not the driver. So he was very chatty, and that's a long ride to just have da-da-da-da-da. And he's like, I have the most dangerous profession in the world.
Then quit. Stop bitching about it and quit.
He goes, I have the most dangerous profession in the world. And I'm like, really? And he goes, yeah. He goes, tow truck drivers drive every day. People don't pay attention. And I said, no, people don't pay attention. I was like, I'm a driver out there. I know.
I wonder why.
I know. Cell phones. I don't understand what's so. And then he was talking about all these. He was giving me a million examples of shit that people do. People block tow trucks and stuff like that. And I don't know if it's an upcoming law or if it's already in place, but he said that if you block a tow truck, upcoming or now, I'm not sure, you can get a fine for that. Because, yeah, it's like $1,000 fine.
Ooh.
Because they're going to clear, like, I'm talking like the highway. He goes, because we're going to clear an accident, and you're blocking us from getting to the accident to clear it, and so you're holding up traffic, you're obstructing. Mm-hmm. And I was like, oh, that's interesting. And you know the thing that they want to do, and it's going to Congress, I guess? Maybe not Congress, but I don't know if it's a local thing or if it's for all tow trucks, like, across the country. They want the blue and red lights on top of their vehicles. Sean's gonna have some.
Give them red and yellow. Red for stopping, yellow for caution.
They want the red and the blue.
Well,
because they think people will pay more attention if it's red and blue.
Put one blue in the middle. They really want the blue. Put one blue in the middle, because people are going to think that the police is starting to drive bigger trucks. So
I said, well, you can't really have that because only the police can have blue and only fire can have red. And he goes, yeah, I know. He said, that's why we're trying to get it passed. It's like going to be voted on soon.
Red and yellow.
I said, okay. And I said, but here's the thing. I said, if you guys get police lights, how often do you think some tow truck drivers not going to abuse that? Mm-hmm. And he goes, well, we want it for senior drivers only.
Right.
And I was like, okay. I was like, but what if somebody... And I didn't say this to him. I ended the conversation there, and he went on his brand new thing. But I was just sitting there, and I was thinking, okay, but if you work for a tow truck company, you work for... Jason, what if you worked for Sean's tow truck company and he has a fleet and the only truck available has blue and red lights on it, and you've only been on the job for 2 months, so he's got to give you that truck. Yes. So I mean, saying that it's for only senior people, I mean, in theory that's great, but I don't think that can really happen.
No. So
that was the longest ride of my life. And, well, not the longest ride of my life, but it was definitely a very long ride.
And when you get your car back, you gotta have a little chat with it.
Yeah.
Don't ever do this again.
You prick. Don't you go, bleh. So, bleh. So we get to where we're going, and the mechanic met me in the yard, and he came out, and he was like, so what happened with your car? And I was explaining it to him, and he goes, oh. He said, but it will start? And I said, yes. And he said, okay. He said, because the way it was explained to me was that it wouldn't start. He goes, and I was thinking, boy, a lot of new cars don't do that. They'll start. And I was like, not if they don't want to. Like, not if they don't want to. So...
Carl was in a bad mood that day.
Yeah, so he's like, can we drive it off the ramp? And the tow truck guy was way ahead of him, and he's like, yep, I'm driving it off right now. And he went and he drove it right off and pulled it right into a parking spot. And
like,
then,
here it goes.
I know. And then the guy's like, okay, well, we're going to take a look at it. And I had my mom meet me there, so we had a ride away from the mechanic. So we jumped in my mom's car. We were on our way. I was halfway to my mother's house, and I realized that I had the keys to the car in my pocket. And Jay looked at me and goes, they're not going to be able to do anything. I was like, no, I know.
Unless they hotwire.
So I called back. And I was like, I have the keys. I'll be back in a little bit. And he's like,
Guess
no
what
problem.
I have?
Yeah. And he's like, no problem, Will. I'll go to lunch. I was like, go ahead, go to lunch. Have lunch on me.
No.
So.
Buy you lunch.
I know. So then I went back, I gave him the keys, and I got what I thought I needed out of it, but then turns out I didn't. And then I went home. So the next day, I waited until about, 1 o'clock in the afternoon, 2 o'clock. And I called up and I said, so what's going on? You get a chance to peek at my car? Take a little peek? And he says, yeah, I was just about to call you. I said, okay. And he goes,
that don't sound good.
He goes, I'm putting together an estimate for you. And I'm like, okay.
No, don't.
Because estimates mean bad things. Estimates are bad. Whenever somebody's like, let me draw up an estimate, that means it's not going to be cheap.
Drop it like it's hot.
It's going to be expensive.
Drop it on the floor.
So he's like, I'll call you back in like an hour. He called me back like 4 hours later.
Dick.
I know. And well, no, not a dick, but I was like, okay. I knew I wasn't going to get it back that day. Because I could just feel it. So he goes, yeah, okay. He goes,
Yeah, that's a great start.
Yeah. He goes, how are you? And I said, I don't know.
What kind of mood are you in?
Yeah.
Do you want the bad news or the worst news?
He goes, well, I gotta talk to you. And I'm like, okay. And he said, well,
Here's the thing.
Here's what happened. And I'm like, okay. And he goes, well, I read the code on the car because the check engine light was on. He said, he told me the code number like I was going to be like, oh, okay. I completely understand. Basically, my catalytic converter is gone. It's bye-bye.
Puh.
It went puh. And I have a Hyundai, however you want to pronounce it.
Hyundai.
Right now I'm calling it a prick. Because Hyundai
Bitch.
likes to not make parts available outside of Hyundai. So this guy goes, I looked all afternoon trying to find a new catalytic converter for you. He goes, I can't get it. He goes, I have to literally go through Hyundai to get it.
In a way, you think they should have known that already.
Well, I mean, I don't know how often that happens. I've never had a car that I had to replace.
I'm sure they dealt with a lot of Hyundais. So they should know just in general.
Well, maybe not the catalytic converter, though. I've never had a car that I've had a catalytic converter issue.
I don't even know what that is.
It's a piece underneath. It connects the air take of the engine to the exhaust.
Oh.
It's like a middleman.
Huh.
It works as a filtration, and it does this whole thing. That's also where your oxygen sensor is. There's one in the catalytic converter. So
everybody learning? Now you know.
Oh boy!
Now you know.
So anyway, mine's bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Mine bit the... Yeah. It sounded like Gizmo. No, bright light! Bright light!
Bye-bye.
Bright light!
Bye-bye.
So he told me... At this point, he told me how much it was going to cost me. And at that point, I stopped hearing anything he had to say. Because
You dropped the phone.
Literally. And you know what? I had just come out of the bathroom, and I'm like, I should go back in the bathroom. I need to sit down. I need to sit. This is awful. So it was horrible. And then, anyway, so it's just a huge pain in the ass. So I went and talked to my dad, because I had to drop my mom's car back off to her so she could run some errands and stuff. Errands! And my dad was like, so what happened to your car? So I was telling him, and he goes, so what do they need to do? And I was like, oh, there's this big, huge thing. Like, they have to weld a piece. There's like a big, huge thing to this. And he goes, I don't understand. And I said, well, I wish I could explain it better to you, but he made the mistake of telling me the price at this point, and I didn't hear a word he said after that. I said, so there's a lot of shit they have to do. I just don't know what they have to do.
So those damn labor costs is going to kill you.
I don't know. He goes, it's the shipping. He goes, I'm going to order it now. He goes, but they're probably all gone home. He goes, it's 2 to 3 days away from me. He goes, latest I'll have it is Tuesday or Wednesday. He's like, it's a 1-day job. He goes, so you'll probably get it back Wednesday or Thursday. And I'm like, son of a bitch.
Hopefully you'll get a phone call Tuesday.
I'm counting on it. He goes, Thursday the latest. And I said, all right, I'll have it back Thursday. Because that's how my life goes. So if anybody wants to pick me up, Try me to work. That'd be super fantastic.
At least it wasn't your gas cap.
I guess I was floored.
That would have made the estimate really low.
I know. I'm sad. I'm very sad, but what can you do?
That's cars for you.
It is cars. You need them, and they're assholes to us. You can do all the maintenance you could possibly do on a car, and still it's like, man, like things just break.
They should be your best buddy, though. They should treat you like you're a king or a queen, because
Yeah.
you buy the car.
Yeah.
You take it home.
Mm-hmm.
You're doing monthly payments on the car. You're doing payments on the insurance. You're paying the inspection sticker, the registration.
Mm-hmm.
You're paying for these fun stickers you put on your windows.
Look at my fun sticker.
You're feeding gas into it like every few days.
Yep.
You're putting a lot of shitload of money in there.
Oil changes.
Yeah?
Regular oil changes. Yep. I probably do those like a month later than I should. Because I have a light that comes on. It's like, boom, you really need to check your engine. I'm like, oh, oops, light cleared.
I'm usually within a week or two after it's over the mileage that the little sticker in the corner
Yeah.
says.
I've learned not to let it go
Too far.
more than a month because I had a whole clusterfuck of a problem after that. But we don't need to talk about that. I have horrible luck with cars.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, Jason, we actually have stuff other than my misery today.
Yes, we do.
Oh, fuck.
You want to start with this?
Yeah, you can. You know what? You can stop. I've been talking for too long. You can do whatever you like over there. I'm gonna have a drink. I need a drink.
Oh, I need a drink.
I need a drink.
Maybe she was poisoned.
I was telling my husband last night. I'm like, maybe I should like start drinking booze again. Maybe I should start
Hey,
drinking.
I already told you that like a few weeks ago for the show. Stop drinking before the show.
Yeah.
If I ask people to write in and say, do you
Sweet
agree?
tea.
If I ask people to write in and say, do you agree that she should drink before the show? I'm sure we'll get a lot of responses.
I was just about to say that would be the thing that everybody would respond on.
Yes.
You're like, Tara, drink. I'm trying, please.
I recently came across, for all those of you that have vinyl records, if you're old enough to know, you know what they are. If you're not,
Everybody knows what records are.
you should know because they've been coming back the past year.
They have. There's been a boom. A boom with vinyl records.
There's quite a few that's listed here that you might have at home, and they could be worth money.
Oh, money, money. So go to Grandpa's attic and see if he has any of these records.
And hopefully they're almost in mint condition because that's what will get you the money.
Oh, yeah.
First one is the Beach Boys with 10 Little Indians. One to hold on to. Original pressings of the single, 7-inch, 45 RPM, which means it's one of those little small vinyl records.
It's a baby record. Baby LP. Bright light.
That's how singles used to be.
Oh, yeah.
Before our time when we had cassette singles.
Oh, jeez.
And then CD singles, which I loved. Now some are just released as digital tracks.
Yep.
Original pressings of the single are only worth around $100 now, but with a band firmly fixed as rock and roll legends, these days it's fair to say their early singles will be worth a great deal in years to come. So, you still got time.
I know, when you go to those old flea markets or whatever, digging the crates. Yeah, seriously. Sometimes people don't know what they're selling.
Why can't Tori read? I can't see
What?
a thing. No.
Is that an actual thing?
Yeah. The letter Y, can't with a K, Tori.
What the
read.
hell? Oh, I gotta hear about this. What is this?
Singer-songwriter Tori Amos's failed rock debut is highly prized among fans of the piano-playing artist. The 1987 album, which has since been reissued, was panned by critics and a limited number of LPs were pressed. Mint copies, though, can fetch up to $300.
Okay. Okay, wait. I'm going to make a prediction, okay? I never do this. I haven't seen this list, so so don't think that I like cheated or anything. I'm going to say on one of these should be the original pressing of Billy Joel's Cold Spring Harbor, because when it was originally pressed, they double timed the speed, and it's wrong.
Is it?
Yes. The other one, which I believe it's hard to find, is the Beatles had done an album, and I don't remember the name of the album, but they had they had done this cover of them in like a meat shop or something, and they were like covered in blood. It was weird.
Ew.
And they decided that it might be too offensive, so they put a sticker over that when they pushed it out. So it's like if you peel back the sticker, you get the original cover.
Nice.
But it's a hard album to find, and I can forget the name of the album, so that might be on there. I don't know. But that's my prediction for those two, Billy Joel and the Beatles.
I printed this out sometime last week, so I forget what's on here.
Okay.
I was trying to look ahead, but some of these pages don't want to separate from me right now.
Oh no! Stick together!
The next one is Britney Spears' Britney. Released in 2001, the limited edition of Britney's third album features a colored vinyl record, which came with a poster and a cardboard insert. A bona fide collector's item, the extra special LP is worth up to $400 in mint condition.
Whoa! For Britney Spears?
In mint condition.
We're in the wrong business.
Yeah.
We need to make a hashtag record. It'd just be us going, boo, boo.
Oops, did it again.
What was the, I forget the car sound already. Buh.
Next is Marilyn Manson with the golden age of grotesque.
Okay.
And I said that right.
You did. I'm very
Yeah,
pleased.
thank you.
Congratulations.
You snapped up a vinyl copy of Marilyn Manson's fourth studio album during your teenage goth alternative phase. You're in luck.
Woo!
The double 12-incher from 2003 is worth up to $570 in mint condition,
What the fuck?
and even used copies can fetch several $100.
Are you kidding me?
I wish I was.
Crazy.
Yes, it is.
A lot of these are newer. I was expecting like old albums.
Yeah, like Beach Boys.
Like Beach Boys is the oldest thing on there.
Oh, not yet.
Yeah, that's true. I guess.
List is still young.
I know. The night is still young. So's the list.
Next is Aretha Franklin. Take a look.
R-E-S-P-E-C-T. Buy my record, please, please, please.
That was pisser.
Anyways.
Stereo versions of the Queen of Soul's 1967 album. Take a Look are few and far between, and collectors have no qualms about paying hundreds of dollars.
Say it over one more time.
Good thinking. Have no qualms about paying hundreds of dollars to snag one. Mint condition can achieve up to $750.
Jeez! Really?
Only if we knew this before. But then again, we were.
I don't think that would help me, really.
I was born 10 years later. I still couldn't have got it.
Ma, buy this.
First word. Record.
Aretha!
Bye. Now. My future self told me to tell you to buy it. Don't open it.
Oh.
Next is Elvis Presley with Elvis. Thank you very much. Elvis's records don't tend to sell for much, which is surprising as hell, given that most teenagers in the 1950s bought them by the bucket load.
Ooh, buckets.
2 T's in the bucket. However, certain records are worth a pretty penny. Look, a penny.
Aw.
Have a look out for mono copies of the King's debut album. Copies can sell up to $1,000.
Whoa!
Yep.
Oh my gosh.
$1,000. Yes, it's another one of my silly puzzles. Not 50,000, but it's 1,000. The next is The Doors with Morrison Hotel.
Oh gosh.
First pressings of The Doors' fifth LP are worth good money, anything up to $1,100. They're not easy to identify, but look out for original copies on Elektra, Elektra. There's a record company, I believe, back then. With light gold/tan labels rather than red or brown, as the latter were used on later pressings.
Oh. Okie dokie.
I'm going to trim that down. That little space there. Buddy Holly. That'll be the day.
That'll be the day.
The original 1958 pressing of Buddy Holly's That'll Be the Day album, released by Decca Records a year before the rock and roll pioneer was killed in
In a window pane.
Ow! A plane crash. It will set you back $1,500 in mint condition.
Oh, whoa.
While used copies with slight imperfections go for around $1,000.
That's still a lot.
Yes, it is.
What is wrong?
And if anybody out there has one of those, we'll give you the address later to mail it to. You can use my P.O. box.
There you go.
Miles Davis, Kinda Blue.
Oh, okay.
Another one you can't retire on, but mint copies of Davis's Kinda Blue LP are worth up to a very respectable $1,500. You're looking for a 180-gram blue vinyl copy, parentheses, not hard to spot, with a 6i label. Columbia switched to a 2i label in 1961, making the former versions more valuable.
Right on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, dear.
The Pagans, 6 and change.
I don't even know what that is.
That's people against goodness and normalcy. Pagan. Pagan.
Yeah.
Nice work, Joe.
I don't know what that is. Okay, I'm gonna shut up.
An iconic American punk record.
Really?
This cult 7-inch single by the Pagans was released on Neck Records in 1977, which was when I was born. Only 200 are known to have been pressed, and mint copies are as rare as hen's teeth.
Okay. That's very specific.
It sure is. Tom Petty, Wildflowers.
Oh. Okay.
Tom Pelly. I'm reading too quick. Tom Petty's solo work divides people more than Donald Trump. Boo. Bully.
Okay.
Unopened copies of this album with 2 original inner sleeves can fetch $2,000, while mint copies go up to $700. Yeah, okay. Don't you think the mint copies would be?
Yeah.
No, okay, I get it. Unopened and open.
Okay.
$700, which is not petty cash.
Oh, I see what they did there.
This represents the last of the
Petty cash. Yeah.
Look out for that artwork, and you could be in for a treat.
Ooh.
You
I like a
treats?
treat.
Yeah.
I like a good treat. I'm not gonna lie.
The Cashmere's Showstopper. During the 1960s, mods in the north of England created a movement based around non-mainstream Motown-style music called Northern Soul. Collectors paid crazy sums of money for the most sought-after records, which include this 1965 dance floor filler by Washington, D.C.'s The Cashmeres.
I've never heard of this band.
It can fetch you up to $2,000.
Well, they can fetch me $2,000. Bring it here. Put it right here on this table. I will love it.
One for each.
All right then, $4,000. If I'm splitting it, I want the two.
I'm not going to argue that.
All right.
I'm jumping around here a little bit.
Whatever you want to do.
Trying to jump around some that I know too. No, this one's nice. No, never mind.
This is good. No, it's not.
It's good to hire money here. Jolly What? England's greatest recording stars, the Beatles and Frank Ifield on stage.
Puh.
U.S. label VJ Records released this compilation album in 1964, pairing the Beatles with easy listening star Frank Ifield. Only 100 copies of the cover that features the Fab Four was produced, making this particular version of the LP one of the rarest Beatle albums. And that can fetch you up to $2,700.
That is not the album that I was thinking of. Just so we're clear. So I can't be like, I was right. 'Cause, so far, I'm not right.
Motley Crue, Too Fast for Love.
Ooh.
The first batch of Motley Crue's debut solo album was restricted to a limited edition of 900. When it was released November of 1981, these copies, which feature cover typography in black and white rather than red, are worth up to $2,700 a piece.
Wow. This is a depressing list.
Yeah.
Well, it's just depressing in the fact that, like, why is it worth so much money?
And why don't we have any in this condition?
And where can we get these?
Who wants to donate their records to us?
Yeah. That's jacked up.
Next is The Queers, kicked out of the Weeblos. Only 200 copies of the 7-inch EP by punk band The Queers were ever produced, and when a copy of the 84 recording does come up for auction, collectors fall all over themselves to bid it. They can expect to shell up to $2,800.
Oh,
Well, that's making terror faint.
that's a lot of money for a record, especially for a band I've never heard of.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, what? What's happening?
Nirvana, Bleach.
Okay.
Copy of Nirvana's 1989 studio album won't pay off your mortgage, and most vinyl editions won't even cover your cable subscription.
Oh.
But various re-releases are worth a great deal. Well, we should stop buying then. Look out for the red and white. Look out for the red and white marbled edition, which is worth up to $3,200 mint condition. Blow me. Other reissues are also valuable, but this is the pick of the bunch.
Of the bunch.
Oh.
It's so much easier without the rug. It's in the wash.
I didn't even notice.
That's okay. Where's the thingy? Arrgh! Alive!
Ow!
Hmm.
Moving on a little bit.
Indeed.
Back to Nirvana again with Love Buzz.
What the what?
Before Nirvana got famous, the grunge band from Seattle released this 1988 7-inch single on Sup Pop Records. Never heard of them.
Sup?
Pop. Given only 500 were pressed, the track is revered by dedicated fans who will pay up to $3,500 just to add it to their collection.
It's only because he passed. Like he's dead.
That's how they all go up. And that's how sales double and triple.
Yeah.
It's like back when Michael Jackson passed. It's like he's starting to sell all his albums and Thriller again like they were just released for the first time. Del Shannon, Running With. Well, they don't finish that. So it's Running With... ... Stereo copies of the 61 album by rock and roll artist Del Shannon are extremely thin on the ground. Only 80 are thought to have been pressed. This, of course, makes the LP hugely desirable. And mint condition copies can sell up to $3,700.
It's amazing. Like, I'm just like, oh, who would pay that much for a record? I know, it's just like, oh. And who's got that kind of money to spend on a record? Well, there are people out there, I'm sure.
The further we go on the list, the higher the prices are going.
So it was an ascending order.
Yep.
That's great.
I'm going to do the next one, and I'll skip ahead a little bit.
All right, let's do it. Let's do it.
Elvis Presley again. Can't Help Falling in Love. Elvis's 61 classic, Can't Help Falling in Love, which I just said. Sold over 1 million copies in the U.S.
Can't help
falling in love
with glue.
Glue.
I picked a bad week to stop sniffing glue.
Sold over 1 million copies in the U.S. and the standard 45 RPM singles are 10 a penny. The limited edition 33 RPM singles are, on the other hand, are worth a fortune. The hula cover version is the most valuable, realizing up to $4,000 at auction.
Oh, come on.
At auction.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, gosh.
I just want to stress again, at auction. So no one's writing in and saying, "Oh, you said it's worth $4,000. I got less." Well, it says here at auction, and I didn't write this.
He did not. He didn't at all.
John Coltrane, Blue Train.
Oh.
Yeah, train. Choo-choo. The last word in classic jazz's LP, John Coltrane's Blue Train, is ridiculously collectible. Original deep groove mono pressings of the 1957 Blue Note record are the most esteemed and command the highest prices, going up to $4,700 a pop. Going up to $4,700 a.
And take that.
Now let's name somebody that we definitely know. Bruce Springsteen.
Oh, Jesus.
Spirit in the Night.
Oh, so it has to be a Springsteen album I've never heard of.
Yep.
Let me guess, his first album.
Yes, it is.
There you go.
Copies of Springsteen's first release with Columbia Records, or, well, with Columbia, so that could be a few more records down the line. We don't know. I just know the one with Born in the USA.
Yeah.
Born in the USA, Dancing in the Dark, in Philadelphia. Pretty much all I know from Springsteen.
Okay.
And his part in We Are the World.
Born to Run. Thunder Road's a good song. Rosalita's a good song. Hungry Heart is a great song. Everybody's gone.
I forgot about that.
Go, bitch, go!
First release with Columbia Records is so scarce, collectors will pay up to $5,100 to acquire one. The 7-inch single was released in a very limited number back in 1973, before the Boss hit the big time.
Boss! I got nothing.
Misfits, Legacy of Brutality. Due to a printing error, 16 copies of this limited edition, damn right it's limited, version of the Legacy of Brutality LP by New Jersey punk band Misfits turned out pink.
Ooh!
The remaining 984 are either white or red. If you have a precious pink copy, it could be worth up to $6,000.
Whoa. Whoa.
Whoa.
Whoa. For reals.
Shizzle.
Oh.
Hank Mobley. With Hank Mobley. Like other Blue Note classics featuring this roundup, Hank Mobley's 1957 album is tremendously valuable. Only several hundred copies were printed, some of which feature an error on the label.
Mm-hmm.
Mint copies are worth up to $10,250 and possibly more.
What is going on in this country?
Possibly more with the label error.
That is crazy.
Help me, Hank.
Help me, Hank. For God's sakes, will you help me, Hank? I need to be rich.
I wanna be rich.
Oh, that's a good song.
I lost the sound of my headphones.
That's because I slammed on the table.
Yes, it was.
Get out of here.
How's
that?
that? Yeah, yep.
All right.
Good.
Get your mitts out of there.
Get your mitts off me. Elvis Presley again. He's whoring this list.
I know.
This one for him, That's Alright.
Is it?
The first ever Elvis single. That's Alright was released in when was it June? July 1954.
July.
July.
July. It's a new month.
It's
Damn this March weather.
It's mixed. And popular music was never the same again. Mint condition copies sell for thousands of dollars. But the most valuable feature is a misprinted, upside down, number 207 on the B side.
Mm-hmm.
And they could fetch up to $15,000.
Wow. This is crazy. This is crazy. I have no idea if you're a record collector, like how you can tell if your stuff is valuable. Because they all have little, like, numbers and stuff on the back. I think there's a way you can do that. I don't personally know.
There is a way we could know.
What?
Anybody listening to us that is a record collector
Mm-hmm.
could write in.
There is.
They could tell us.
You know what you would write? You would write to the word #JustSayinPodcast @gmail.com. You know, you can just write us in and be like, hey, sorry about your car, Tara.
Let me give you this record to pay it off.
I know, because I'm going to be doing a lot of prostitution to pay off this bill.
Should have signed with the tow truck guy.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Oh,
Well, he was short. I got to have standards. So,
Your husband was there too.
yes, he was. Believe me, he's not happy about the bill either, so I'm sure he'd put me on a corner and drop me off. So, actually, if you want to comment below, because we filmed the YouTube video, we post the podcast video up on YouTube. You can comment below, Tara, sorry about your car. Or you can comment, hey, I have that record, and put your address and day and time you will be out of the house.
Or just say, I have that record in mint condition. Contact me.
Yeah.
I will help you pay off your
The
car.
day and time you will be out of the house. And we'll swing by.
Just leave it on the porch.
Oh.
Two more. Bob Dylan. The freewheeling Bob Dylan.
I see you tried to get fancy with the title. Freewheeling Bob Dylan.
Yep. As one of Dylan's most laundered records, most copies of this are not worth a huge amount. However, certain editions can feature 4 additional tracks or are insanely valuable. Original stereo copies are worth up to an incredible $35,000. Mono copies will sell up to $15,000 in mint condition.
That is gross.
Now remember, the key words in all these are worth up to.
And mint. The only mint I have is fucking after 8.
Or in the mornings.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's a lot of people out there that say they hear, oh, it's worth up to $35,000. Like you see it on like the show Pawn Stars.
Yeah.
They have a guy come in, check out the thing. Well, what do you think it's worth? I'd say give it this and that. $12,000. About $12,000. As soon as they walk away, first question they ask them, what do you want for it? You said $12,000. I want $12,000.
Yeah.
No, up to.
Well, the other thing with that is that you could say, well, I have this Bob Dylan record, and it's worth $35,000 in condition. Okay, well, that's fine. You can have something that's worth that much, but you need to find somebody who's willing to pay that much.
That too.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you could have a $30,000 record, but that doesn't mean someone's going to come along and say, well, I'll give you $30,000 for this record.
Mm-hmm.
Just my opinion.
Good opinion. Now, if anybody has this next one, remember what we just said, give it to us. We'll take it off your hands for you. The Beatles, yesterday and today.
All right, let's see if it's the cover that I was talking about.
One of the most infamous album covers in music history.
Mm-hmm.
This 1966 U.S. compilation originally had a photo of the Fab Four wearing butcher's smocks and draped in
Yes!
decapitated dolls and meat on its front.
Yes!
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 Yeah!
Oh, thank you!
It was pulled from those stores that had allowed it to be sold after a day and replaced with a much more, let's say, nicer photo of the band. The so-called first state versions with the original image are hugely valuable and very rare.
Mm-hmm.
A sealed copy
Yep.
has sold for $125,000
Wow.
via Heritage Auctions in 2016.
Wow.
So one sold for $125,000.
Wow.
Second state pressings with the replacement cover pasted over the original are also very valuable. Look for, quote, file under the Beatles and T2553 in the top right corner on the front cover. Once news broke of the switch, many enterprising fans peeled off the replacement cover with varying degrees of success. These are known as third state copies and are less valuable.
Oh, so you were better off leaving the little sticker on there.
Yep.
Yeah.
And they fooled you to take it off.
Yeah. A quick story about that, because I like Penn and Teller, okay? And Penn would often be interviewed, and people would say, how much would it cost for you to say, tell me how all your tricks are done? And he would say, that record. I want that Beatles, first edition, with the butcher, blah, blah, blah. Right?
The baker and the candlestick maker.
Yeah. And it's rare. So people will be like, oh, okay.
They're worth a quarter.
Yeah, and it's worth quite a bit of money. But there was a time when they were doing interviews that he would say that in every interview. And Teller got bullshit. Because he's like, somebody's going to take you up on that. So one day they were at the theater and a package came. And he opens it up and it's that record.
Oh.
And he starts sweating.
Oh.
Right? He's like, oh shit. He's like, somebody actually took me serious. Somebody took me up on that. So then there's a card. So he opens up the card. And it says, here's your record. Now shut your fucking mouth. Love, Teller.
Nice.
Boom.